Hi, this video is to give you an overview of the article editor that you will be using to administer the website. To get to the article editor, you need to sign in on the front end of the website as the administrator, and generally you would do that somewhere. There would be a link pointing to admin. Now, I have already signed in on this website, um, and when you do, you will be presented with additional menu um, options, one of which would be create an article. Now, your menu may sit on a different um, space on the website, like on the left hand side or the right hand side or wherever, but there will be a menu option saying create an article. If you click on that, the article editor will open up for you. So I'm just going to scroll down for a little bit so you get a better view of the article editor. Now, the article editor consists of quite a few input areas, input fields that you need to input. Um, and I'm just going to run through them briefly. On the top there, you see there's a save button or a cancel button. It's very obvious. If you want to save your article, you click there. If you want to cancel your article, just discard everything you did, you click on cancel, and it'll take you back to the page before you clicked on the create an article menu option. It also have got space to input a title, and as you can see, it is mandatory that a title is inserted. That's what the little asterisk would mean. Absolutely mandatory. You can't save it without um, a title. The next field you can ignore. If you read there, it is the website will create automatically an alias for this article. You don't have to fill it in. It'll be automatically done by the system. Then you have your tools, your toolbar with all your tool buttons for formatting of the text that you would put in there. Of course, not only text, but text, images, and links and everything, tables, whatever, will be inserted into this area. Right, scrolling down further, you get another very important field that must always be filled in, as you can see with the asterisks there, is the category. It defaults to uncategorized, as you can see there. But in this website, for instance, I've got 4 different categories: articles, news, frequently asked questions, and training. You have to choose one of those, even though uncategorized can be chosen as well. We will talk about categories in more detail in another video, but a very important field to consider when you do an article. Okay, so you can ignore tags, never use it. You can insert an author's alias if you want to. You must decide whether this article will be published or not. There are defaults to published, so if you save it, this will automatically appear on the website as published. You can, of course, unpublish it if you wish. You can archive it if you wish, or you can trash it, throw it away, discard it completely. Featured, I would ignore. Normally, featured articles has to do with articles that you would display on the front page, but generally when you administer the website, you will change the content of the front page in a completely different manner. We'll just have a look at that in another video. You can decide when to start to publish your website, I mean your article on the website, by choosing a date from a calendar, a pop-up calendar that you get. Uh, it means that you can, for instance, do the article now, but only decide to start publishing it in a few days' time, and you would then click on a date ahead of time, which means that the article will not be available for anybody to see until that time. You can do exactly the same with finishing or finish publishing an article. So you can choose a future date when that article will disappear from view automatically, using again that little icon to pop up a date calendar for you. You can decide who will have access, who will be able to see or read your article. It defaults to the public because obviously most things that you're going to put on the website will be for the sake of the public, anybody that can see it. But you may choose that certain piece of information is only intended to be seen by registered users, for instance, which not everybody has got people registering on their website. But if you, for instance, want to show sensitive information to only certain people, you would ask those certain people to register on the website, and only they, after they sign in on the website, will be able to see anything that is published as registered. Ordering of articles will take place automatically. The newest article will be the first position in any one category. So if you've got a category of news, the newest news item will always be on top, and the older ones further down to the bottom. Language, nothing to concern yourself about. There is only English, UK English, that is used for any of the websites that we publish here in the UK. Of course, it is possible to have any language you want, but it is not enabled for the websites that we have. Then you have two further boxes that you can use if you so wish. It has to do with the meta description, and it has to do with keywords. So from your article, you may um, just, let's say, input a paragraph to summarize what the article is about. And in this input box, you will put in certain keywords that stand out and that sort of identifies or is particular to your article. Now, the reason for these two things are so that search engines like Google can easily pick up on your articles and use the information. If people would search for a specific keyword and it finds it there, Google will then direct visitors to the website. Of course, you can use this for articles, or you don't need to use it for any one specific article, depending on the audience you want to reach. If it is a news article for mainly club members, then you know your club members are always going to go there. They're not going to go to Google to see if you have a news article on your website. But even so, you can use that. So this really concludes the brief overview of your article editor, except that you can pay particular attention to all these tools, formatting tools that you have. They are very much the same that you would find on an application like Word. Um, but there are just a few of them that would be used very regularly. The rest of them really are used very little, and some of them are not used at all. Ones that I personally use a lot is, of course, the Save button. Select, I would normally just select my text with a mouse and not use that, but that would select all the text in your editor. That would cut any text that is selected. That would copy any text that is selected. That would paste anything that is on your clipboard, which you probably copied onto your clipboard from an email or a document external to your website, would paste it into your text area. You have three ways of pasting. You can just normal paste. Whatever you've got on your clipboard, you will be pasting. That will do exactly the same, except that it'll take any formatting away and it'll just paste as plain text. And that would paste anything that has been copied from Word to keep the formatting that was assigned to Word. And of course, it is not always perfect, but it's near enough. Spell checking, yes, of course, I use that a bit. Spell check as you type. You can set it on your website. You need to enable it there. Don't really use it. I type the whole thing and then I check all the spell checking and all the spelling, and then that's it. Undo button, redo button. I use that sometimes. Remove any formatting which is already inside of your text. If you typed anything there, you can remove it and reformat things. Sometimes you need to do that because you get a bit confused or whatever. Find, I don't often use that. I don't often use replace. I do it just manually. Yes, bold I use, italics I use, underline I would use. I would never use any of those. Special characters maybe, but hardly ever. Yes, I do use numbered lists. I do use bulleted lists. I do use decreasing or increasing of indentations. I also use formatting there. As you can see, this defaults, as you can see that block being on, defaults to block format, but you can change your text however you like there. I would very seldom use that button to insert a horizontal line. That will just simply put a horizontal line right across the whole of the page. I never use page breaks for printing. I definitely use linking to websites or to files quite often. You may need to unlink sometimes. If you have a link, then that would be highlighted, and then you could unlink if you need to unlink. Hardly ever use anchoring, which is just another way of linking, but to a specific area inside of the current document. I never use J-tree link. Yes, I use that to insert images. I never use Flash movies inside of a document. Tables, yes, you will use tables quite a lot because tables sort of organizes your text in very neat columns. Sometimes it's quite necessary to use tables. Templates, no, I never use templates, but you can play around with it if you like. I never use the HTML5 video, and I never use the HTML5 audio rather. I always use formatting. I always use font. I always use specific sizes to make things more readable if I need to do that. Yes, you will do text coloring quite a bit. You will also use background coloring sometimes. Never use styles. I just create styles manually, so for this specific website, there are no styles, as you can see, in any case. Div, no, I don't use the button often, but I do use div containers. Show blocks, never use that. Sometimes use maximize if I need more space to see things, and sometimes I would use previewing. But that's it. I would suggest that you create just a little document on your website to play around with things. Now, it will only save the document if you click save. You can play around as much as you like without saving anything, and when you're finished practicing any of these things, then you can simply click on cancel. It'll take you out and you can come back next time and do it again. If you do decide that you want to save something, or some of your practice sessions, then it is important that you should use the correct category for it. If you use uncategorized, you will not see your document again, because it will not show up. If it is uncategorized, it needs to be linked to a menu item for it to show. So there must be something that you need to click on before it'll show anywhere. But there is a way around it. Don't use uncategorized. What you do have to use is use the training area, or in your case it may be called a support area or administration area, where you can, or where you will see stuff when you sign into the website and the public don't see it. If you put it under news, for instance, then the public will see it, or articles, depending whether there's something that points to those already. If you have a news menu link from your menu to news, then, and you use news, that article, your practice article, will be seen. So I would suggest, yes, identify which is an area where only you, because you sign in, can have a look. You can save it in that area, so you have to choose that category before you click on save. That is all for this video, so I hope that'll give you a start to just play around with the text editor and get your head around some of these things. And of course, if you have any questions, contact me and we can look at those. That is all for now. Thank you.